A few comments and a question. First, I
Mhm.
want to thank you for your advice last time I was on your show. I was, having a bit of the baby rabies as a guy, and you kind of helped set me straight about, waiting for the right situation, cream rises to the top, and
Mm.
deal with that then, and that really helped settle me. Since that time, I've actually gotten involved as a teacher. So now I teach 5 through 9 year olds, and it's scratched the itch that I had. So I'm totally good. And I just want to, again, thank you for your advice on that. The other comment I'll add, I missed the beginning part of your show, but I caught the tail end about mentorship. And I just like to
Mhm.
say, I was a managing director in the finance world and definitely had people underneath me. And you're absolutely right. People who are hungry to be involved, those are the best. And as a managing director, I pour as much into them as I can in terms of knowledge and skills, and I give them as much opportunity as they can take. So your tips are spot on for anyone else who's listening. I mean, that's the way to go if you're looking for mentorship. um, the question I have for you is, I guess, a female question,
Mhm.
so a little bit off topic from entrepreneurship, but I've become involved with a woman, and the relationship is actually going really well. I have unique circumstances because right now, at the time, I'm living in basically a commune in a sense, so it's a bit of a challenge for me. She lives on the outside, but she comes and visits, and I'm going to move out of here. I think I'm moving to Asia. She wants to come with. The relationship's going well. She's entering my frame. She's useful in so many ways. Everything's great, but there are a couple, sort of like red flags. I mean, she does have a child. This is a long distance situation as it is right now. We've been kind
Where
of.
do you live and where does she live?
I live in Tennessee. She lives in Illinois, which is where I used to live. I actually
Okay.
knew her for several years before I moved here. But
Mm.
then when I go to Chicago, from time to time, every few months, and I just hit her up when I'm there. And then she started coming down here to see me. So we see each other every couple months. And it's just been kind of a loose thing, but this has been going on for a while now. And so it's starting to coalesce. And I just wanted to get your take on that. If, I've heard you say other things that, you look at the red flags, it's going to be hard to find someone that's completely clean on them. But if there's one or two, assess it closely. So I just want to get your take on that. What it's like. She's a bit older than me, actually. So that
How old are
idea of
you? How
like,
old is she?
I'm 40, she's 49. That's just, I
You
know.
want to have kids?
That's what I'm saying. Not really. What your advice and then now teaching, and being with all these kids all the time, it's definitely scratched the itch. I don't have any personal need for like a personal legacy. That's just, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. I just want to enjoy my life,
Hmm.
and I enjoy being around kids, and I've known her child since the child was like 4 or 5. So I've known this woman for like 6 years. We just started getting involved about a year ago.
Hmm.
But that's the situation. I was just wondering, your thoughts on it. I know it's limited for you to know, but
Yeah.
what you
Well,
think?
okay. So what are the red flags? So let's start with that because you said something about that earlier.
Yeah, basically, she does have a child with another man, but she she was, around approaching, the wall, the 40, and
Hmm.
he was like, oh, I want to have a child. So she had a child with a guy that she knew, but knew he was never going to be her husband. And
Hmm.
so it was almost an intentional, I'm going to like co-parent with this man. And so they do co-parent. They don't live together. They
How old's the
split
kid?
time. The kid at this point is 11.
I mean, like, what's your goal here? Like, what are you trying to do with this relationship? So,
I don't really.
actually, let's just set
Okay.
aside this relationship. What are you looking for yourself? Putting yourself first.
Yeah, putting myself first, I'm looking for someone who can, augment my life and my lifestyle, um, share experiences with, but also do things, that either I don't have time to do or don't have the
Hmm.
skill set to do. She mends my clothing, cleans my place. Every time she comes over, she starts cleaning. She's very useful. And there's other things like that we have in common that I see that we can do together. So it's just an augment. So in general, that's what I'm looking for, an augment to my life, just to kind of enhance what's already there, because I'm content as I am. I guess the reason I'm asking this question is I'm trying to understand, should I cut this loose, even though it's great? Like, there's really no problems at all. Occasionally she,
You're
might
also
get
planning on moving too. You said you said something about going to Asia.
Yeah, I'm looking to buy a place in Asia, relocate, have another base of operations there.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the U.S. Just kind of split time back and forth, and she's very interested in that, in joining me on that.
What does she do for a living?
She cuts hair. Which is probably another red flag. I don't know. Being a hairdresser, it's one of those.
So you got a 49-year-old hairdresser with an 11-year-old kid.
Pretty much, yeah. I know. That's why I'm asking. I needed a sober assessment.
I mean, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So why would you settle for it?
Because she really, her desire for me is very strong. It's very, very strong. And
okay, so
I want to pick women who want me as opposed to
no, I get it. Yeah, no, 1,000%. Like I always say, make sure she's got GBD, right? Genuine burning desire. Choose women that choose you, sort of thing. But if you're going to be going back and forth from the States to Asia, and she wants to come along with you, guess who else is coming along with you? The kid. So you're paying for her because she's not going to have money to pay for flights because she's a hairdresser. You're going to pay for her kid, a child that's not yours, doesn't have your name, doesn't have your DNA. You're raising another man's kid. You're basically a cuckold, right? At that point, like I talked about in my book.
Yeah, no, that's not the case, because that's the whole Asia thing's not going to happen until this child is grown and out. Like, I'm going to go there.
Okay, so you're talking like in 9-10 years then.
Well, yeah, like 7 years once she gets
still
18, and yeah.
I mean, if you're going to Asia, why don't you just get something over there?
I can. I have. It's relatively easy to do. It's just I found with the cultural differences, like I've been in relationships with people who are not, American, and it's great.
So this gal is an American, or she?
She's an American, 100% American, but she happens to be of Asian ethnicity.
Oh, okay. So you like Asian women?
No, I like all women. This just happens to be the flavor of,
Got it.
Time.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It might seem nice and comfortable and easy right now. And she cleans your house and she's in your frame and she's got genuine burning desire and like all that sort of stuff. But as you start to intertwine your lives together and you travel and you do things, she's going to expect you to do things and pay for things for this child that isn't yours. And things won't be getting better, when you're spending more time together and involving her kid into the relationship. They're going to get a lot more complex. I mean, I think you said you read my book twice, right?
No, I didn't say that. I actually haven't read your book at all.
Sorry,
I'm so smart.
Sorry, it was Rob that said that. He was the previous caller. Read my book twice, 3 times. There's a chapter in there on single mothers and everything you need to understand when it comes to dealing with single moms and why they're not ideal. To sum it up, basically, you are going to have parental responsibility to her child, and you're probably not going to have much, if any, authority over that kid. You're going to have a lot of expectations of you as you start to intermingle your lives, right? But your boundaries and anything that you want to enforce, or if you want to put yourself first in some regard, it's always going to come back to her and this kid. It's just not ideal, right? Like, if you can get a woman that doesn't have a child in tow, you're going to be far, far better off. You're going to have a lot more freedom. You're going to have a lot more fun. Like there's women out there that don't have a ton of red flags that are also don't have children or dudes, kids, in tow. Can you do it? Sure. But your life will become a lot more complex unnecessarily before mine will. Right. Like, I'm with a gal that's younger than me and she doesn't have any kids. You're talking about a woman that's older than you and she's got kids and she's got a very low paying job, right? So you're going to be on the hook for taking care of her and this kid as well, right? I don't know what a hairdresser gets paid, in her state, but I'm assuming it's like what, 35,000 a year? Not much.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I'm not disputing any of it. I'm aware of that risk. So for those reasons, I have not been involved with her child in that regard at all. Like I set that boundary. I'm not doing that, and she
Keep
doesn't
that-
need me or want me.
Keep that boundary firm then. So if you want to keep dealing with her, make sure that's an absolute firm bound. Like, I have friends right now that are involved with single mothers, and they're like, Rich, love your shit, read your book, da 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 da, sort of thing, right? But they will not, and they have no interest in meeting their kids, their family, doing Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any of that stuff with them. They're like, it's a firm line. We're dating, we're seeing each other, we're having fun. That's it. It's never going to happen, right? So that's one way to see if she's really in your frame, and if she really has genuine burning desire, to see if she'll overlook it. Because most women will be like, I kind of want him to get involved with all this over here, and I want like the whole package. I just don't want to date. I just don't want to go over and have sex and clean up his apartment or whatever, right?
Okay,
it's just not ideal.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking. Because most of the women I date are younger, and but there's a term in Japan, where we're moving to, when you date a woman that's slightly older than you, it's called a golden slipper.
Yeah.
Because they do so much to care for you, which is really nice, because she fits right into my frame. But I agree, it's not ideal. So,
let me just say like one more thing. This is gonna be a little bit harsh. I mean, there's a meme floating around out there talking about Asian women, and when they hit menopause. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I have not.
Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Asian women, there it is. It's kind of off to the side over here. Does it get? No, it doesn't get any bigger. We'll do it like that. 18, 20 to 30, 30 to 50. She's looking hot. And then it's like, bang, this is what you're going to get. Okay. She's 49. She is not far from that.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like, I'm not here to fluff you up with rainbows and butterflies and lie to you. So I'm just telling you the truth, man. Like, they don't age well, right? Like when they hit that, they hit it hard. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.